I've been a fan of the Star Wars franchise since it began way back in 1977, so I've spent countless amounts of time with the galaxy from a long, long time ago that George Lucas created. In addition to the movies, books, comics, TV shows, and animated series that have been made for the franchise, I've also enjoyed the many toys and video games that have been released to bring fans closer to the Star Wars universe, giving us both items to own and interactive experiences to relish. Along those lines, Star Wars has stepped up quite frequently to create content for virtual reality, and this video looks at how this franchise has found ways to make a space for itself in immersive, interactive media. This video only covers the official Star Wars VR titles. It does not include fan-based efforts to bring Star Wars video games into VR, nor does it cover the augmented reality Jedi Challenges game by Lenovo, which was released for smartphones in 2017. The company name that usually appears on Star Wars VR titles is Industrial Light and Magic, or ILM. George Lucas created ILM to pioneer the innovative special effects that were needed to make Star Wars movies possible, and the company has since gone on to contribute its effects services to many other entertainment properties. ILM brought Star Wars along with it when it started its own VR division, which was originally called the ILM X Lab and has since been renamed as ILM Immersive. ILM's first Star Wars VR title was called Trials on Tatooine, which was released in 2016 and is still available on the Steam platform. This title only lasts for a few minutes and feels like a tech demo, but it packs a lot of Star Wars fun into a small package. Users get to interact with R2-D2, perform repairs on the Millennium Falcon, use a lightsaber, and even fight off some stormtroopers. All of these interactions were indications of more ambitious projects to come. Trials on Tatooine was followed by Droid Repair Bay in 2017, which is also available on Steam. This title coincided with the release of The Last Jedi, and as such it is set during the sequel trilogy era. This second title lasts longer than Trials on Tatooine, although it's more of a mini-game than a full experience. As part of the resistance against the First Order, users repair a selection of BB series astromech droids, including BB-8 himself, and then interact with the droids after they are fixed. Not only does this title evoke the more comedic and whimsical aspects of the franchise, but it also allowed ILM to explore ways that users could interact with a virtual Star Wars environment that didn't involve combat. In the same year, ILM released Secrets of the Empire, a location-based VR experience that opened in 2017 and closed in 2022. In this title, players would follow guidance provided by Cassian Andor and his droid K2SO to break into Darth Vader's castle on the planet Mustafar to steal a vital relic for the Rebel Alliance. Each player would wear a VR headset and a backpack, but they would appear to each other in VR as wearing stormtrooper armor as disguises to break into the castle. Unfortunately, because this was exclusively a location-based experience, Secrets of the Empire is no longer available to Star Wars fans, and I couldn't find any footage of it that I could use for this video. Secrets of the Empire was a prequel of sorts to Vader Immortal, a VR series that was released in 2019 for the MetaQuest headsets. Vader Immortal is a 3-part story that also takes place in Vader's castle. Players must escape the castle before Vader gets access to an ancient artifact that will give the Sith Lord the power over life and death. Vader Immortal is the first home VR game to provide a thorough Star Wars experience. Players get to spend some time in hyperspace, interact with droids and holograms, use blaster rifles and lightsabers, and even come face-to-face with Darth Vader himself. After players finish the main story, they can sharpen their lightsaber skills in the Lightsaber Dojo, a feature that's included in all 3 parts of Vader Immortal. Personally, I'm hoping that ILM will rework Secrets of the Empire into a single-player experience and release it as a DLC edition for Vader Immortal, but I doubt that will happen. The most recent Star Wars VR title by ILM is Tales from Galaxy's Edge for the MetaQuest headsets. The main title was released in 2020, and its DLC expansion Last Call was released in 2021. Like Vader Immortal, Tales from Galaxy's Edge is a fantastic VR experience that offers even more Star Wars fun than its immediate predecessor. This time around, players interacted with C-3PO and R2-D2 during the main campaign on the planet Batuu, and even spent some time with franchise favorites such as Jedi Master Yoda and space pirate Hondo Ohnaka. What's particularly interesting is how much the Galaxy's Edge game is modeled after the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge attraction at the Disney theme parks. Players spend time in a droid shop that's similar to the droid shop in the attraction, and some missions involve collecting small-scale astromech droids that are the same as the small-scale astromech droids that are sold at the Disney parks. If you look out the window of one of the game's locations, you see the Millennium Falcon parked in the same hangar that it's parked in at the theme parks. Also, for the Last Call story, players are assigned missions from Doc Ondar, an alien character that was specifically created for the Galaxy's Edge attraction. It should also be mentioned that there was a second Star Wars VR game that was released in 2020, Star Wars Squadrons. This title was not made by ILM. Instead, it was developed by Motive Studio and published by Electronic Arts. Squadrons can be played in both 2D and in VR, but playing it in VR turns this game into an immersive Star Wars experience. In VR, this game lets fans sit inside of life-sized simulations of 10 different vehicles from the original trilogy in a single video game. The interiors of each ship are incredibly detailed, expanding greatly upon what has been seen in the movies, TV shows, and animated series. I'm still amazed that I can look around the interiors of Empire and Rebel ships to see all the flashing buttons, electronic displays, and scratches and chipped surfaces that resulted from intense space combat. The immersion experience doesn't end with the vehicles. In the story campaign, players have face-to-face interactions with Empire and Rebel characters, sit through holographic mission profiles and briefing rooms, and look around vehicle hangars. In the hangars, players can move around the life-sized exteriors of the vehicles they will pilot in the missions. Of course, this is another Star Wars fan dream, seeing these vehicles right in front of you in their actual in-universe sizes. Another immersive Star Wars project by ILM was recently announced at this year's Star Wars Celebration event in Japan, a game called Star Wars Beyond Victory. It's another MetaQuest title, although its official release date has not been established yet. Beyond Victory will be a mixed reality pod racing adventure that provides gameplay in both augmented reality and virtual reality. Hopefully, if this title does well, I'm hoping we'll get a re-release of the Jedi Challenges AR game for mixed reality headsets. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to leave a comment below, and click like and subscribe for more 3D content.